Hey, what's good, everybody? Today we're going to talk about the Mezco 112 Collective Vapor from Hoodz. Let's get it started, guys. I absolutely adore this figure. I had a fantastic time taking photos of it, getting really into my element as I gave him that New York vibe that he already has, and everything about it is just fun. But you don't know anything about that. That's why we're going to talk about this toy today in this video. It's pretty cool because it's one of those things where Mezco kind of went a completely different stylized route, and I loved it. But then I remembered Vapor was done before in Hoodz, like what, 20 years ago now. So it's crazy to think that we are at a point now where we're revisiting things and we can put it in a new line and you can stylize it, and it's just so good. Like, if you are someone that's into the New York scene, if you are a New Yorker, if you appreciate graffiti, a combination of these things will make you appreciate this figure a lot more. But even just any number of those things are just, it combined has a great appreciation of such a figure with just so much style. I give it a lot of praise because I love things that are done differently. I love things that kind of bring something different to the table, and this is that. So let's talk about the figure and you'll see. As I get them all close up, right and personal. The head sculpt alone is something that I'm really attracted to because we have these tons of faces that you see, and but this normal expression just screams attitude, and it's something that I can get with where you are. Let's say you do portraits, it's really cool. Let's say you just want to try something different, like scenes of running away or doing something, a certain scene. Like, this is a smorgasbord for photographers like myself, where you can just grab so much expression out of it, and I love it. We have our nice blue shirt, we have our jeans, we have our kicks. Everything about this just has style. Even when you lift up his shirt, it has the classic vibe of pants sagging ever so slightly, because, you know, it's Hoodz, so it plays off a certain variety of stuff, and I love it. The hair is flocked, which is really, really cool. Like, I know most people didn't expect that. Crap, I didn't expect it. And it took some getting used to, but I do like the feel and the texture of it, and gives the figure that extra vibe. As far as our articulation goes, we can lift our head up. We can go down. Let's actually back up just a little bit. We can tilt side to side, giving Vapor some of that extra expression. Our arms can go up. As you can see, they can go outward as well. So look, even like this, like doing things like holding the fist out, it just has so much attitude on it. I love it. And then we have a bicep swivel, which is really cool. We are double jointed. You can clearly see that. It's a nice fold there. We have our articulation in our pegs that rotate all the way around. Oh, right. Now, as far as our upper torso movement, this is where it gets fun. We can we can tilt left and we can tilt right, depending on which way you're looking. As you can see here, we can go forwards, we can go backwards, just ever so slightly, but it does have a lot of nice human motion, as you can see, moving backwards. Our leg can go forward. It does have a thigh swivel. We are double jointed as well. And sorry guys, I'm just so excited. Now, in the ankle is where you'll lose a little bit of articulation, and that is because our high tops are going to get in the way. And I think that's actually common. If you tied up your high tops and you tried to move a certain way, unless you was playing ball in the park, having a bunch of pickup games, trust me, you would lose a little bit of that articulation as well. Now, let's see if we can do him doing a nice running pose, because here we're only going to get left and right and forward, but ever so slightly. So as you can see here, rotating it in and out. But I think there's a good reason for that, because depending on what you see and do, which you'll see in a second, like look at this. So we can hit a running pose. Very nice. I love this. I love it. If we want to do certain poses where we're sitting on top of something, and we can have Vapor just look really cool. Like, look, this is dope. A figure with style is really dope. And this is kind of reminding me of way back when people did more stylized and the designer stuff. This figure is going to be a nice hit with a lot of designers and graffiti artists and anyone who loves the urban look. And now that we've covered our articulation and look, sorry, I'm just so excited. just been a really good day. Now, we've covered our look, where we get the rundown. This is where it gets really crazy, because now with our accessories, where we get a whole ton of stuff, this is going to probably be the largest segment. So brace yourselves as we get ready to jump into it. Now we're going to jump into accessories. We're going to have a little bit of fun here. Let's start with the hands and the other head sculpts, and then we're going to jump into the other stuff. Now, what's really cool is you will start off with some, let's do the rock on hands. Let's change our focus for a second. So you have some rock on hands that you'll get. These are really good. Bring on! You will get item holding hands for your spray cans. Very important. You'll get some open action palm hands. One of them is going to have the 2 fingers tucked in. That's going to be on the left hand. And then you have this open action palm. Next up, one of my personal favorites, the FU hands. These are always fun and always bring a certain level of energy to the table. And I love it. You will also get a particular weapon. Well, sorry, I shouldn't call it weapon. You will get an item holding hand, which is for the left hand. And you'll get an item holding hand with a trigger loose for the right hand. Then our head sculpts. This is where it gets really nice. You'll get like this surprise nervous sculpt. Let's zoom in. Get that. The spiral in the eyes is so nice. Those red lines definitely add that nice color separation that you don't normally get. Especially because this guy has blue skin and flocked green hair. So this nice color separation is a great color touch. I'm too excited today. Next up, we have our grinning face. This is really nice. And as you can see, his eye color there has a nice tint of green inside those red outlines. And that notorious grin. It's really dope. And as I said before, there's a lot of expression in these, because as you can see, the eyes are not the same. The eyebrow up here is tinted up. Well, tilted up, I should say. You see the cheek marks. There is a lot of energy, attitude, and expression in these. It just came out really nice. Then we have our angry sculpt. Which, like before, you can see a lot of the sculpted face in here. The nose is a little bit sharper. And that face, just so good. You'll notice the red lines are at their minimum here. And even the eyes, they don't have that large dilation. They dilate back. Really, really cool. Now we're going to talk about, you know what? Let's have some fun and talk about our spray cans. One of them is black. And it shakes. I don't know if you guys can hear it, but like, that's cool that it has a real shaking function. That's really, really dope. And then even you can pop the top to assume as if you are spraying. And that's why these hands are very important for that. So as we kind of just slide these in, it fits perfectly up into the hand to the point where it's actually looking like he's spraying inside the can. Well, you know what I mean, spraying with the can. But yeah, so much fun. You'll actually get 2 more of these. One is a taller one with an orange lid. Then there's one with a green lid. Next up, you will get a couple of marker mops. And you'll get this bottle as well. I believe this also may be one, a marker mop. You'll get your little sketch pad book. Show off your art inside. So nice. It has a little paint on it. As if you know how it is being an artist. You get your paint everywhere. Your artwork is everywhere. Has that nice little, the painted pages. Like, paint is like dripped everywhere and everything. I like this a lot. This is very reminiscent of me going to art school back then. Now, we're going to get into some of the clothing. Now, this is where it gets really cool, because a couple of things happen here. We actually get a lot of style variation here. Vapor can change his clothes and have a bunch of different looks. It's really, really dope. One of those things are going to be the fact that he can change his shoes. So you'll get some boots. The boots are a nice look. Nice yellow color. And to change his boots, what you can do is, what I recommend, you'll see where the sock line is. You should hold the leg there and just kind of wiggle out. You'll hear a pop. There we go. We'll do it the same for this leg. Just pops right out. You're going to pop these right on in. You'll hear the pop either way. There we go. Same here. And now we've changed into our boots. We have a completely different style here. It's really nice. Then also, oops, what's funny is you maintain the same articulation. This one may have a little bit more restriction because, you know, they sit a little bit higher than our sneakers set at. Right? Ooh, I like this. There's a nice little, ooh, I didn't notice that before. I don't know if you guys can see that, but there's an M there for Mezco. That's pretty cool. I didn't notice that before. That's something new that I've noticed now. That's cool. Next up, you will get this nice red sweater. We're going to pop his sweater on too as well. So let's get to that now. What we're going to do is we're going to pop our head and our hands off. We're going to put our arms up. And get our arms in there. Sleeves up. And, you know, it's fun to talk about stuff like this and talk about the change of clothes. And I'm like, you know what? It's crazy because as a New Yorker, like, this is a a very New York centric outfit, you know. Boots, a hoodie, you prepping for like that October weather. You trying to figure out how you gonna go to work because you may not need like your full jacket yet. So I feel this. I feel this in every which way as a New Yorker. Because sometimes you just need a hoodie to go out, but you know, you don't want to go nowhere without your boots or whatever. You know what I mean? As other New Yorkers will see and will watch, right? So we now have our really cool sweater on. Let's rotate these things around as we put our arm down. And now Vapor feels like a completely different character with a different look. Pop our head on. Boom. There we go. Looking good. We're not going to pop our hands on just yet because I want to show you a cool feature. We're going to pull our drawstring because the drawstring is actually a working one. As you can see here. That is a very nice feature that I do like. Adds a little bit of that liveliness. And I didn't want to put the hands on yet because two things I want to show you is that you can actually do this, right? And make it look as if he's putting his hands in his pocket. And then that's when I fell in love with this figure. I won't lie to you, is when I gave him a look like this. This is when I knew that I was going to love this figure. Because, like, as a New Yorker, I stand on the train looking like that. Like that's what I do. Like, so this kind of stuff is just utterly fun. Like, I can't sit down and say that I don't enjoy things like this because I absolutely do. Now, you'll also get a bubble vest. The bubble vest is dope. And it does zip up too. There is a working zipper on it. And what's really cool is you can actually put it on over the sweater. So you can have another look. That's what I'm saying. There is so much variety here in this figure. Hoodie's up. Let's get it all the way on. So again, you get another look of a guy literally having a blast. Now this is October weather, no lie. 100% October weather. You'll also get a nice hat that has the NYC on it. Now we're going to pop our hands on just for a second. We continue to talk about more stuff. Right? Like, I love this look. I love it. But I want to take the vest off because there's one more thing I want to talk about. And I'm not sure if I want to put the jacket on over it. So we're going to take a hat off because it looks good both ways, actually. I didn't realize that, but this totally looks good both ways. So cool. Next up, we have a nice jacket that you can wear. This is going to be your black jacket. This one also has a really nice hood on it. The hood is also wired. And it has little faux pockets. Now, one thing I haven't tried, but I want to try it now to see how it looks with the hoodie on it. Because I have not tried that yet. So let's try that. Let's see how it looks. And actually, this is not a bad look either, because it still works with the hoodie on under it. It looks even better without the hoodie on it. But I mean, like, that depends on your color separation, because now the more I'm looking at this with this on, I'm starting to rethink all my choices, because now I'm like, man, with the boots and the jeans, this is actually a solid combination. I don't know why I didn't think of this sooner. This is a really solid combination. And this goes to show you that even after playing with the figure for hours on end, there is just so much more to find out and sit down and play with. Because after I put these hands on, I'm just going to talk about, like, wow, this is a really nice combination I didn't think of. So now there's so many different combinations you can actually do with Vapor. It's crazy. I really, really like this. That's a dope look. Yeah, that's dope. And then we still have more accessories to go through. One of those being that you will get a pair of headphones. These can actually, I'm actually going to put these on a different head, because I like him standing there so much like that. But you're going to wrap over the ears. Now we have our head with headphones. Looking really good. Let's put this to the side. On another face though, let's use our angry face. And then here we have our gas mask. Or should I say a breathing mask. That can fit right over our face. This also looks really solid. This is really, really good. This is an excellent accessory, and it fits Vapor perfectly. Especially as graffiti artists, you don't want to be inhaling all your fumes unless that's exactly what you want. I would not recommend that. So this is a great accessory for him. You'll also get a pair of bolt cutters. You know, for places you may need a little bit of extra entry to. This is also a very important tool. You'll also get a mask that has a slit in it that allows you to show your face. So here's a great example as we pull the mask over a head scope. We're going to sit down and have some fun with this. So I remember using these for when it was really cold outside back in the day. Like, you really needed one of these. Like, these were crazy. And I've pulled it too far down through the mouth because you want it to meet up at the eyes. This is why having it on the body is actually pretty important. Makes it a little bit easier to find out where you're going. So there we go. It looks a little crazy now, but when you pop it on the body, it's going to make things really come to life as we match the eyes up to look less crazy. There we go. Looks a lot less crazy when you put it on the body. But it has more purpose too. And then you can just pull it right off and have a good time. So you can look crazy. This is so dope. And like, the more I play with it, the more I'm finding out how much more I really, really enjoy this. And just the difference in just what it brings to the table. Last but not least, we do have a backpack. Very important to have when you carry all your accessories. I unzipped it and you'll see the stuffing inside, but don't worry about that. That's just to make it look full. You can actually stuff your stuff in there, which is going to be your markers, your sketch pad. You can even put your hat or your mask in there, or even your extra kicks, depending on what you want to do. So have a blast with that. Now, last thing, the very last thing, is actually for people like me who cannot do any sort of graffiti. He does come with a nice sticker sheet for his stuff. So as you can see here, this is really, really dope. This is what, you know, you can plaster on your walls for your diodes and things like that. So let's say you don't have a diode or things like that. You want to just make a plain wall and slap it on there, make them look cool on there. It's totally for you. Now, the last part, we're going to jump into our size comparisons. So I'll see you guys in a second. Last but not least, guys, here we are with the size comparisons. I want to compare a few Mezcos first. Here we are with a Mezco Cyclops. Then we have a Mezco Me on a Gomez body, right? Then we have a Mezco Baron Benz Tectonic version. And it's safe to say that he is on a slightly smaller body, which I'm okay with because it seems like he's a younger person. He's more stylized anyway. And it's really cool to try something different in the level of this. And I just like how he kind of just stands out with just cool factor all around. I'm here for it. Let's move these guys out of the way. Next, we have a Mafex Spider-Man. So as you can see, he levels out a little bit better with the Mafex stuff. Then we have a Lightning Collection Black Ranger. Right? Then we have a Marvel Legends Spider-Man. Right? Then we have a Cobra Trooper from Hasbro as well. So he works out pretty well in size comparison with just about all the other stuff, which is okay. But with other Mezco stuff, he's a little bit smaller. We have a Storm Collectibles Scorpion. Then we have an Articulated Icons Ninja. And last but not least, we have SH Figure Arts Kamen Rider Kuga to round off the end of it. Oh wait, no, I may have forgotten one. Let's actually do the Mythic Legions. So let's move Scorpion out of the way for a second. And even with Mythic Legions, you can see that he is still on the much smaller side, but he scales out okay with some other stuff. So you can have fun mixing and matching. I feel like he's a perfect little wild card in your collection, should you want to get him. So, as always, guys, thank you for watching so much. Thanks for sticking it out as we talked about this guy all the way through and went over the clothing options. I appreciate it all. As always, please be good, do good, drink your water, guys. Later.